Hi there, it's Ruth here, Artful Stampin'. Today I'm showing you a stamp set and die set from the Graceful Glass suite that's in the brand new catalogue. I've got the stamp set and dies and have been having a lovely play with them, and wanted to show you some of the cards that I've made, and also to complete a card in front of you and just kind of break down the steps of how I made it. If I just go through the actual stamp set, it's this one here. It has 4 fabulous sentiments designed with, very much inspired by, calligraphy, and it reminds me of my childhood actually. My father tried to get me to practice with an italic pen, and this font really reminds me of some of the things that I used to practice when I was younger. And then it has this very bold kind of large circle image, and it's just under 2 inches wide, and then this beautiful rose, bird and butterfly design, which is perfect for colouring in and cutting out. And there are dies to match those three images, which just makes fussy cutting, a thing of the past. It's so helpful. The die set also includes some fabulous kind of geometric shapes. So there's this one here that cuts out a frame, which can be used in lots of different ways. This kind of half circle, which reminds me of a stained glass window, maybe at the top of a door or something. And then this one here, which kind of reminds me of iron railings, or just a really sort of ornamental grate. Very pretty. And then this one here, which is a quarter circle piece. And then of course the dies to cut out the individual images. So here I've got a card, and also I want to tell you a little bit about this embossing plate and just show you how you can use it to enhance your cards. So this one here, I've cut out the frame, but then underneath, can you see that layer of embossing? And that is created using this embossing pad. So this is new to the catalogue. It consists of this white plate and then 2 silicone mats. So you have a grey one and a blue one. So to get that just lightly embossed effect, you just use the blue one, and you use the Big Shot platform base. Now if you've still got the base that has the almost like it's like a book where you open up the different layers, you basically use your very base plate with the white one on top, then the blue one, then your card that you want to emboss, and then you layer your die over the top, and then you use your normal acrylic plate over the top and you push that through, and that's how you end up with that lovely light embossing effect. The dark grey one does something different, but I'm not going to talk about that one today. So that's how I did that. Now the butterflies here, I actually fussy cut these out because I went to use my die and I'd misplaced it somewhere else, and I didn't have it on hand, but the butterflies are fussy cut out, but you can actually just cut them out with the dies, as can be seen here. So if you cut it out with the dies, you do have that just a little bit of a layer going round. So here I've used the lovely long design there behind a scallop circle from the Layering Circles framelits dies, and then a circle from the stitched framelits dies, and then I've embossed that with the kind of the deep hexagon embossing folder, and then coloured the butterflies in using the Stampin' blends. I believe I used Pool Party, the Bermuda Bay and the Pink Pirouette blends for those. So that's just a really gorgeous simple card, very elegant. So that's that one. Then this one here, I've experimented with using the half circle die here, and I cut 2 pieces and then very carefully put glue on to the edge there and stuck 2 pieces together. So you can see that the join there and there. I realise now I should have twisted that round, but never mind. And then stuck that behind then my focal point circle there, and it just creates this almost doily effect behind the circle, which I think is really pretty and delicate. And again, this was coloured in with a Stampin' blends, so I coloured in the butterfly and then went round the edge, and I think this is Calypso Coral, and then I used a lighter Calypso Coral and then the Pink Pirouette, and just did the shading so that it gave it that kind of ombre effect. Okay, so this card here, you can see the embossing mat used to great effect to create this embossed piece in the background. And then again, I use the those half circles to create this kind of doily effect behind the stained glass window that I coloured in, and then cut it out with the 2-inch circle punch. And then I've used the Share What You Love pearls because they're so pretty, and they just seem to match really, really beautifully to finish that card off. Right, so the one I'm going to finish with you now is this one here. And when you look at this stamp, I mean, I tend to immediately think of a stained glass window, and usually stained glass windows have light behind them. And I was trying to think of a way to actually display this image with some light coming through the back. So what I did was I stamped the image with Versamark ink onto vellum, and then embossed it, heat embossed it with some white embossing powder. And then what I did was I actually coloured the back of it with the Stampin' Blends, so that I didn't get any of the Stampin' Blend marker on the actual white embossing itself, because that would colour it. So by keeping the colouring on the back, it's quite forgiving, because you can kind of go over the lines a little bit if you're not being too careful, and the effect is still very, very pretty. So to create this frame, I punched out a piece, a circle, 2-inch circle with the white cardstock, and then put it through the Big Shot and put this scallop circle around it to create this frame. And I've stuck that on using dimensionals, and I actually use the edge pieces of dimensionals just to stick around there to create a really nice kind of framed effect. So to cut this piece, I cut half a sheet of A5 paper in half lengthways, so this measures 10.5 centimetres across, and then I've cut down the side 1 centimetre away from either edge, and that gave me an 8.5 centimetre piece here. So I then scored the card at 8.5 centimetres there, so that I've got this square piece then to cut a circle out of, and I just did that with the 2-inch circle punch. Then I've also run this portion here through the Big Shot with the embossing mats, just to create a little bit of interest there. So I'm just going to start assembling it all, because I've also got this piece here that I've embossed onto vellum, and it's just a reason to celebrate, because to me this kind of reminds me of a wedding, so I thought this card would be very nice for giving someone, or even, I don't know, even at the birth of a baby or something. It's just a very delicate and very pretty card. So it's going to be an easel card, so I do need to have pieces beside the sentiment here to hold it up, which I'm going to be attaching in a second after doing this. So I'm just running a very thin layer of glue down the sides just to keep these portions stuck down. And then it's really important to make sure that this area, this fold here, is very well burnished, because it does need to stand up. And so here I have my sentiment. I'm just going to get some dimensionals. And the roses, again, I heat embossed these with white and coloured in from the back. Now I realised that they probably wouldn't show up very much, and also that if I put a dimensional directly on the back it might not show either. So I've cut exactly the same shape for some white cardstock, and I'm just going to glue these roses down before attaching them with the dimensionals. I'll just pop that onto there, then that one onto there. And I want to put this rose just in a corner there, and that one just in a corner there. And so that I don't have any glue sort of showing behind this piece of vellum here, I'm going to pop a dimensional just right in the corner there, and then one just in the corner. It doesn't have to be completely on, it's just enough to catch it so it can be stuck down. and place that right in the middle of that embossed rectangle that I had done earlier. There we go. And that leaves space for my rose. I think some people are calling this the Beauty and the Beast stamp set. It kind of reminds me of some of the imagery from the original cartoon of Beauty and the Beast, and the rose, and the lovely stained glass, that kind of bit right at the beginning where the narrator tells the story of the beast and what happened. Actually, even the font reminds me of it as well. So there we go. Now that needs to be folded down a little bit more. So just burnish a little bit more to make sure that it sits nicely. Right, well, thank you so much for joining me today to have a look at the painted glass stamp set and the matching dies. It's called Stained Glass Thinlits dies. These products are available right now from my online shop, and you can reach there by going to artfulstampin.co.uk. If you don't have a current catalogue, please do contact me, drop me a line, and I'm happy to get one out to you. And I hope this inspires you to make your own stained glass easel card. So take care for now. Bye bye.